remember what I asked you to do? How are we going to start this particular episode?
Oh, all aboard!
There you
Right?
go.
The PLURIBUS.
We're getting on the Pluribus. Now, here's the thing for all you folks at home who are patiently waiting on more Superman stuff. It's a coming. I know Chad's editing like a madman, and those of you who give us the extra money and have already seen it, I hope you guys have enjoyed our Man of Steel and Batman v Superman episodes. But I will say this: we're going to keep talking about Pluribus, even though I went today on IMDb. I have never seen such an outpouring of not like.
On Pluribus?
Yeah.
Really?
Now, yes. And I know that, Rotten Tomatoes is still the critics. It's a critical darling. Everyone, the critics all like it. And you'll find that the audience score is still pretty good, but IMDb is just like 3, 4, 2, 1 star. Just, and most of them are like going, I don't get it, man. People just like fawning over this thing, and they're like, don't like the lead character. It's really slow and boring. This isn't original. And there are a few of them that have thought this out and gave it some episodes, and they're like, yeah, it's just not working for me. And again, I can respect that. Just like if you guys out there love stuff that we hate. And again, Chad and I don't agree on everything, but we usually will talk about things we agree on. And so, yes, you're entitled to not be thrilled by Pluribus. And I don't know what its ratings. I don't even know what ratings are anymore in the streaming era. But I don't know how well it's doing as opposed to the hype. And there was hype because it's Vince Gilligan, and he 2 masterful shows that will go down in TV history were not solely him, but his creation. And here we are with this one. But I just don't get, when I was reading it, it wasn't just people going, I don't have time to think about shows. There are people talking about its pacing and it's slow. And they're like going, okay, it was an interesting concept, but I liked it better when it was, and then fill in the blank where they go, dude, this is just another Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is another blah, blah, blah. This is just another blah, blah, blah. I'm like going, it's a classic sci-fi trope. Yeah, absolutely. But what's interesting is how he's subverted it, altered it. That's what's interesting. I'm sorry, alien invasion stories. We're going to be having more of those, and we always will. No, it's not. That's not what's original about it. But anyway, and people who don't like the lead character, a lot of them are saying like, look, Ray Seahorn's amazing, but this show was created just because Vince Gilligan's got a crush on her. And I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, that's really downplaying how amazing she's being. The only thing that registered in all these negative things where I was like, okay, maybe, is similar to stuff that we've talked about. Her character is not maybe asking questions that the rest of us would. And I'm like, okay, that's valid because yes, this is kind of a realistic take on the last man on Earth kind of thing. In her case, the last, not really last because there's others, but where the POV is the last independent mind. And she's unique and she's her own person and she can be really dumb. She can be really petty and so forth. And, but we do see that crumble. We're seeing her try to think things through, but it is true, probably because he doesn't want to give secrets away. Not yet anyway, she is not asking questions that we would.
Well, she does in this episode of these last 2 episodes. She finally gets
the last 2 episodes. We're talking about episode 4 and 5 as a combo.
Yeah. I can see why people, I did notice this. One of the people commented saying, like, I liked the first episode, but then like nothing meaningful happened. Like, yeah. Really? Okay. I think it's just that it just moves too slow for some people, that they get hooked in by the zombie apocalypse kind of that thing that it's got going. And then when it goes in a more cerebral, intellectual direction, which is, this definitely is. This is a thinking show. And I get that some people may think, because there were a couple episodes, this episode in the beginning, or episode 4, And I guess five as well. Five was like some people may have watched that going, what is this? Why am I, who cares about milk cartons? I don't know where this is going. And I feel, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess it's just not, the pace of the show is just not for everybody. And I get it.
That is one of the main things people are getting on is the pace. And someone was summing it up in their review by saying, "Oh, so it's watching Carol in her house." It's like this show is
Yeah.
Carol in her house, and I mean I do get that. Here's and this is sort of a litmus test, and it would be true for any other TV, because Lord knows you could sit there going, Cheers was literally set in the bar for 90% of the show. Every now and then you'd follow people to apartments and so forth. And you're like, well, if that's your problem, okay. But that's a sitcom and it's all about jokey joke situation. This, I won't be too intellectual about it and say, oh, this is, a thinking person's program. But it does say how, if the character doesn't grab you and she is the POV and her situation, if that doesn't grab you, then you are like, why would you watch? If it's for the central mystery, obviously that's not going to be just like within 5 episodes, like, boom, there's the answers to everything. Now I'll watch her from week to week as she, whatever. It's not that. It is, it's an interior thing. And I have the patience. And what's more, I'm enjoying it even in the slow parts, because it is putting myself sort of through her into what if, like, that world, and what she's doing is interesting to me. So then I'm totally, I may not agree with what Carol's doing, or a lot of her, again, she's not asking some questions like, hey, like, exactly what is your inner life like? I mean, you specifically, the individual known as you that I'm talking to, Zosha, or whoever it is. I mean, is it only Hive Mind, or do you still have vestiges of like, oh, I like to go home and play piano or whatever? Do you have some sort of life that is you, even if you're contributing to everything and everybody else's experiences? So, I mean, I would kind of want to know more about what their life is like before I
Sure.
start immediately going, I just have to correct it. Which by episode 5, she's like, I have to
Sure.
fix this.
Well, and I think that helps with the perspective on that is that I keep forgetting about this too, because they keep reminding us how that there's a count forward. We see how long it's been
Yes.
since the joining, and
Yeah.
it's only been a week,
Yeah.
basically at this point.
Yeah.
There
It's
hasn't.
literally been 8 days, I
Not only
think.
has it not been that long a period of time, but she just lost her wife. Basically, she lost the love of her life, and it's still fresh. And this crazy event has happened across the world. She's not really, she's not spinning on all cylinders, but she is. In
I
these last 2 episodes, she's starting to ask. She's starting to be a little bit more critical and like, wait a minute,
she's becoming very
a little more
proactive.
investigatory.
Yeah, she had kind of not given up, but she was like,
Yeah,
just leave me alone. Similar to,
yeah.
we get a little bit of the character in Peru. Is it Peru or
Paraguay,
Paraguay? Right.
Manousos.
Yeah. So we finally see, and he is very similar to Carol, as
Mm-hmm.
Carol is curious, but she is starting to want to do something. That character who she had already had the phone conversation with and over from the plane,
Yeah.
and we finally see his side of it. It's just interesting because, again, it's just seeding, like, we don't know where this is going, but his attitude seems to be complete distrust, where Carol at least has accepted they want to help me, or at least they do things that I ask them to.
Mm-hmm.
But he's even farther in the paranoia, as in they bring him food and he doesn't trust it. I mean, it's like, I'm not touching any of that stuff. So much so that he's eating dog food. So
Mm-hmm.
he trusts no one around him. And that's like, that is the way some people would be. And Vince Gilligan is trying to show us, including, when she had her meeting with the other free-minded people, that everyone's dealing with it differently. And one guy, like we keep bringing up, the guy who got Air Force One, he's kind of like making the best of it. Like, yeah, I don't care. This is awesome. And they won't kill for me, but they'll still cook me a steak if it's already been It's like, that's great. I'm done. I got all these hot chicks will do whatever I ask. And, it's like, okay. And then you have the mother who's like just living in a dream world. Nope, that's still him. I love the whole thing about you made him cry. It's like
Yeah.
she made the world cry.
Cry. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just insane.
Yeah. I went back and watched the second episode after episode 5 because I was curious about the whole thing about the quote, which we'll get into, but the whole thing with the milk cartons and the weird stuff that's
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
Is that all they're eating? And I went back to watch that episode where they're being served dinner, and the other joined people, the other family members who are joined, they are eating the
Yes.
meal.
I don't think that's all they eat, but it seems to be an essential because
Right.
their thing is all about efficiency.
Yes.
And a lot of people are already seeing the cliffhanger in 5 and they're going, oh, it's totally like a Soylent Green situation because why would you waste meat? Like people that they won't kill, but let's say they're actually preserving people who passed, or I mean,
Yeah.
but we
Well, I
don't
mean,
know
they've
that's
got
where they're going.
right. We don't know
We
yet,
don't
but
know what she's
there
going
are 8.
about.
It was just a few days ago in the story that nearly 1 billion people died. So that's a lot of bodies, and the hive, as we've seen, is very efficiency minded. So it makes
And maybe
sense. But
that's not something they eat, but maybe it's like this could be fuel, or they're breaking the body down into whatever.
right, what's the best way? Because they do seem to be concerned with environmental concerns, like because they're conserving energy. What's the best thing to do with 800 million dead bodies? Bury them? No. Burn them? Definitely not.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you grind them up and you do something useful with them, like eat them.
There seems to be a weird thing with, and of course we're bouncing around, which is what we do. But the idea that they have a surface level intent of goodwill, but they are ruthlessly efficient, but they're not evil. So it is a thing where there seems to be a disconnect when you're a hive mind from individual affection. Like, in other words, Zosha seems to care about Carol, but that at the same time is the world wants to care about Carol, and Zosha's just part of that unit. So yes, if they saw a dead body, someone in the hive mind knows who that is, has memories of love or hate or whatever for that individual dead body. But the hive mind is overriding anything that's tender about it and says, well, they're gone. This is just material, and we should, maybe recycle if they go that way.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's interesting because they seem really nice and disappointed and a little freaked out, especially when Carol is pushing the limits, as in the hand grenade and nuclear weapon conversation. And then when she basically scams the whole world by loading up Zosha with truth serum, which provides a little bit of a, like, I shouldn't tell you this. I don't want to tell you this, but this individual has that drug in the system, and she has to tell her the truth, where the rest of the world is like, uh-oh, you've affected that one. Please don't do this. It's like, she will tell you, but please don't ask.
Yeah.
And that's all Carol needs to, basically go, oh, you guys know there's a way to reverse this. That's the whole linchpin of episodes 4 and 5 is her discovering, and she doesn't know what, but she knows there is a way to reverse it. And the whole world does know that. And apparently she's the only one out of all the free-minded people who's pushing it to the limit of, tell me how I can get everybody to be who they used to be. So, and the question of the series, which again makes it a thinking person series, is that the ramifications of all this. It's like, is it better? Would the world be better if we were all Carol and not universally happy? Or is it, or are we leaning towards, man, that does seem like a weird utopia, but the world would be healthier and better, but not as unique.
Right.
Ugh, it's crazy.
This is why I'm still so puzzled and delightfully puzzled about where the story is going, because there is nothing typical about how the story is unfolding. And because there's some interesting things about Carol's character and the Hive is that there's essentially two characters. Like they're basically two main characters.
Yes.
There's the Hive and there's her, and there's obviously Manousos and Kumba and all these other people.
Oh, look how good you
unaffected.
are. You're actually remembering the names of
Yeah.
these characters.
But like Carol has just she's shown on many occasions that she's got a heroic, compassionate side to her. She rushes to people's aid without thinking. Like in the very first episode, when that guy in the truck crashes, as the thing, she immediately runs over and is so concerned with his safety that she misses what's happening to Helen. And this happens time and time again.
People that that are seeing her as being this horrible human being because she is, and I think she's written very well, and of course she's acted very well. People finding her unpleasant because of her generally pessimistic and sour outlook are missing cues like that where you see, look, she is multi-layered. And as we keep pointing out, you yourself are sitting there going, yeah, she's in grief mode as well.
Yeah.
By the way, the whole thing with the coyotes coming for the corpse, it's like that's a very nice writerly tie-in to like her trying to find out what people are eating and what may be happening. And I'm like, yeah, the world intellectually, the world, everybody else would understand why they helped her build the grave. Like that's what Carol needs. Let's do that, even though we wouldn't do that for any of our people probably.
Right.
And they would completely not understand the whole like mission she goes on to like lay concrete slabs down and fire, it's like, get out of here and yell at coyotes. It's like, damn, the world going to a wilderness state too, simply because wherever the humans aren't, because they've all kind of consolidated, their neighbors aren't living in their houses anymore.
Right.
Where are they all living, by the way? Since they're not really living at their homes.
Yeah.
Hotels, maybe?
I think hopefully we're going to see more and more of what the Hive does when nobody's around, because we've seen bits of it. We saw it in the very second episode in the beginning where we meet Zosha for the first time. We see how they operate when they're just with themselves. They don't talk to each other because they don't have to.
They don't have to.
There's one internal mind that's operating.
And just I love every time they bother to show, which they do in the hospital scenes and when the hospital evacuates too, where everyone is just lockstep. They just, it's not that they're mindless, it's just that they all understand the mission. So as you say, there's no reason to even look at each other. They don't have to.
Right.
They know that this needs to be picked up and put in this thing, and they all had the knowledge of what everything is. It's nuts.
But they light up. They're like customer service representatives. When they're in the presence of somebody who's unaffected, they light up and they turn on their human side. And you see that in the second episode when the family members they're all relating to the unaffected as if they're still normal, but inside they're not.
And it is to serve, weirdly, the needs of those who, and they're still trying to figure it out. I really did like that one. I don't know which episode it was, 2 or maybe it was in 3. But where essentially she's like, how long do I have? Like, how close are you guys to figuring out what, how to turn me into one of you? And they're like going, well, Carol, we're working on it. And we're thinking it could be a couple of months. I mean, I do like the fact that or longer. I like the fact the world mind, even though we're sitting there saying like a superior alien mind that it is, they're still bound by human intelligence, and they still don't know how this works. They do. I think someone in the hive mind knows how to reverse it, but they don't want to. They have that knowledge. So, but how to fix the people who are still free thinking, they're not quite there yet. But I just like how the honesty thing, when she's got her whiteboard out and she's like going, they cannot lie. They won't kill and they cannot lie and all this kind of stuff. That, I mean, again, is this the most gripping action-packed series you're going to watch on TV? No. But it's the questions and it's watching it unfold. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
Then again, there's also nothing like it on TV. I have plenty of shows I can go to that are fun, just entertaining, procedurals, cop shows, detective shows, various nonsense and blah blah, and all the comedies. But this is a rare treat where it's like, okay, I just want to see this unfold. It's also possible that by the end of season 1, I'm like, he's not
Yeah,
sticking the
I'm
landing.
out.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: I'm
I
not.
doubt it.
I didn't drink Kool-Aid. I'm not part of the hive mind. It's just for me. This appeals to me. This appeals to me, and I like the way Vince Gilligan writes, and I like the way he thinks. And so, and people complained. I remember, Better Call Saul, like season 1, people were complaining that it's like, oh, geez, sophomore slump. And they're like going, this isn't anything going to happen. It's like, this is just too different from Breaking Bad. Why should I keep watching this? So a similar thing where it's like, just let the man cook. Has he let us down? Not
Yeah.
yet.
The cool thing about this show in that regard is that it is, and maybe this is one of the things that isn't working for people because there's not as much stuff happening, but it's very tightly focused. There's fewer characters in the show than there was in
which
either
some people
Breaking Bad
complain
or
about.
Better Call Saul. Yeah.
Some people complain that the fact that since it's really a one-person show with a series of extras who come in speaking for the hive mind, they're like going, this is like a boring play. And I'm like, no, I don't agree, man. Yes, it's very focused, but wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
It's like, we are free-minded people watching what a free-minded person would do when the entire world becomes one and you're the odd person out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm digging it.
In a sense, it's kind of like survivors on a desert island. And it's just, there's a handful of people on one side, and then there's the hive on the other side. Who is essentially, like I said, one person. There's another. We were talking about aspects of that happened in the last episode with the. Well, I think they're wolves. Actually, I thought they were coyotes too. They kept referring to them as wolves in the and other things I saw. Whatever, it didn't matter. But the way that
I
might
just
be,
know many wolves are out there in New Mexico. It doesn't seem to be very wolvy.
No, I don't know. But that seemed to be like a foreshadowing of possibly the hive is consuming dead bodies.
Yeah.
But there's also, I think, that bit where she can't get the rifle out, and then after she wakes up the next morning, she realizes there's a button right there, and then there's a key for her handcuffs is right there. Yeah. So I think that was her. She's starting to calm down now, because that was kind of representative of the fact that what I said earlier, that she's still mourning. She's freaked out. She's not thinking clear. And now she's kind of realizing, I need to clear my head, because a lot of the answers I'm looking for are right in front of me.
Yes. Yeah.
And I need to think more critically, which she does in that episode.
But I think literally, like any other person, she could have had that realization when she started her plan, and like, I'm going to go get some sodium pentothal or whatever it was. Truth serum. But moment to moment, it's like literally your emotions. The whole thing with how dare these coyotes come for Helen. That's not clear thinking. That has nothing. And her spending all that time of like, now I'm going to paint a tombstone, and you're like going, that is for no one but Carol. Yeah. And she needs it. And that is not part. There are other parts of her day that aren't going to be, Nancy Drew detective figuring things out. And I'm here for the little moments. That said, when she's getting into that mode, and the whole sequence, by the way, with her testing herself, the idea that she can just go on like the internet, which I assume is still up and running.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She consults a little booklet.
Yeah, that's right.
About how the medication works.
To figure out dosage. But yeah, her dosing herself and then recording it so she could see the effects. And that whole thing it's great. I mean, again, it's like, give this woman an Emmy already. And I enjoyed every bit of it. Mm-hmm. So, and then her going in, that's some freaking clever stuff. I do feel like we need justice for Zosha, because she is the punching bag of the show.
Well, that's one of the things I think is happening, is that this part of kind of seems like the story is going this way, is that Carol's going to start understanding and recognizing the hive as a new life form that needs to be treated with compassion, like she treats everybody else with compassion.
Yes. She objects clearly. Again, this is the first week. She objects clearly to being played by they send someone who's going to have a visual emotional effect on her because it looks like a character that she has imagined her whole life. Yeah, but the whole thing of she shows genuine concern when it's clear. I mean, when Zosha protected her from a bomb blast and she's dying, and she's like, no, 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 no. And then she uses Zosha with the truth serum thing. And then that's another thing where she realizes this is going to impact. And hopefully she's still remembering, if I blow up at them, it could be another 10 million people dying. So there's that too. But yeah, she's looking at her like going, they're like, we're glad you're concerned about Zosha. And Zosha herself is like, I'm so glad that you care about this individual, and that you're worried about her. And you're like, yeah, Carol is kind of mono-focused, and it must be weird. How can you relate to one person who is everybody? It's like, even if she fell in love with Zosha, that's not falling in love with Zosha. Zosha was probably completely different in her pre-life, but now she's this warm, welcoming, and attractive, like part of the world. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm going to keep watching. Is I don't know where this is going, and I'm intrigued and interested.
I'm really, if it is the fact that if it is dead bodies that she found, people have been trying to figure out like why did it take her so long to react to what she sees. If it is dead bodies, I think it's because the body parts are all chopped up and organized and like
Wow,
hands, feet, whatever.
Yeah,
they've got them in very efficient, or organized groups.
Yeah, it would make sense.
If this is the case, number one, I don't think they're just eating dead bodies because there was a lot of other food in that storage area.
Yeah,
There's
it
fruit
may
and
not
vegetables
be
and things.
eating.
I think
Like
they're just
it
throwing
may just be
everything.
recycling. Yeah, it's like recycling somehow.
A big mix of like a nutritional thing that they're doing.
Wow. Yeah.
And they're just going to go pour through it until they reach the end of the dead bodies.
What was the thing from Futurama? Was it Slurm?
Slurm?
Slurm was the thing that everyone would drink in cans.
Oh, okay.
It basically gives you all your nutrients in one go.
If this is the case, I think that this might be the one thing that finally gets through to Lakshmi, the mother of the child.
Yeah.
Who was yelling at her on the phone this last episode. You made the whole world cry. You made my son cry. When Lakshmi finds out that they've been feeding her son dead bodies, she might be a little upset because she hasn't disassociated.
I mean, the people who are free-minded that we've met, I mean, she's the most dramatic because there are plenty of them that like due to their culture or whatever. Like there's the very nice, I think, Chinese family that are like, no, we're happy and whatever. But yeah, it's like when the word gets out. And plus I do love the fact that they are still kowtowing to whatever. She is purposefully trying to build a rebellion of sorts, and she's using them to do it because they'll do whatever she says. She is sending out newsletters about her work, and they're sending drones because they did say we need a break.
Yeah,
I love the world's like, we still love you and care about you, Carol, but maybe for right now, it's good that we take a break.
I love that.
It's so great.
The whole world broke up with her.
Yes, indeed. But they still send a drone to pick up her letter or her like little thumb drives or whatever to send it out around the world. And they're going to keep doing that. What's fascinating about it is this is an invasion like none other where they want her to join them. At the same time, they are beholden. As they said, we want you to be happy. That's the main thing. So she can sit there going, again, asking for a nuclear weapon, like, well, we really wish you wouldn't ask for that, but, we'll do whatever you want. So, yeah, she's basically telling them, yeah, I'm going to figure out a way to cut everybody off of that and free you up. I'm working on it and make sure everyone knows. And they're like, absolutely. And then the one drone getting like caught on the thing. I mean, it's
right.
Oh, this show, the people who aren't watching it. I mean, I get it. Whatever. We're going to keep talking about it. But luckily there's only like 9 episodes. So we're almost done with season 1. Don't worry about it, guys.
I think I've seen footage because I rewatched that second episode and the first trailers that came out, there is a little bit of footage of Vegas. And Kumba tells us that's
Oh,
the one thing he said before he leaves, like, I'm heading to Las Vegas to stay in
yeah, that
Elvis
was it.
Presley's
Yeah,
suite, so she
yeah,
knows exactly where he is or he's going
yeah.
to be. And Vegas
Plus, she could
is
probably just
drivable.
also ask the world.
Well, yeah, but he
She
did
could just
tell her
pick up a
that's where
phone
they
and
were going.
go. I like the way she just gets a voicemail
Well, they're
now.
not talking to her right now. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So, and Vegas is within driving distance of Albuquerque. It's,
yep.
it's 4 or 5 hours away or something like that. She could get there pretty easily. So that's probably what's going to happen, is that maybe she's going to go find, because she knows exactly what hotel room he's staying in, what hotel, what suite. So I think that's important information. The other thing is that if they are delivering these things, which if they're staying true to their nature, they are, Manousos in Paraguay will get this thing translated as she requested, and he's
I know.
probably
I love
going.
the fact she's like going, look, send it to all of them, even the ones that don't speak English.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
guys will
yeah.
have to translate it. And I'm like, jeez.
And there's footage in those trailers too of Manousos driving in a car driving through
Wow.
a
I mean,
town.
again, I don't
So is he
remember
going
the
to drive
trailers.
from Paraguay all the way up to Albuquerque? I don't know.
I'm sure he's driving to a. No, he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want them
He
to
doesn't want
give
their
him
assistance with
anything.
anything. Yeah,
So it does seem likely that unless he knows how to fly, that he would literally just drive. Does that
yeah,
mean that?
which would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Also, is
Journey.
the efficiency? Does that? Does every gas station still have working pumps?
Well,
I mean,
what
this is
I'm
just
guessing is if once the Hive sees what he's doing, they're going to help him.
right.
So they'll be like clearing the way for him and waving at him and like, hi,
Yeah.
it's going to be really interesting.
Do you want some snacks for your journey?
Yeah, yeah.
We got you trail mix. Oh man, I love it. So, yes, episode 5, that one is her big experiment essentially with the truth serum and finding out possibly at the cost of Zosha's life, but she's okay. And again, this is what causes the break with the world where they're like, please, Carol, please, Carol, please, please, Carol. And they're all crying and, man, it's creepy and it's good.
And it's just so, they're basically, you see that the Hive is not just a machine, that they have emotions. Obviously, they made the whole world cry. And the next morning they're mad at her and they just don't want to talk to her. So they pack up and leave. The entire city vacates.
I think it is a very passive way because they're seemingly passive. They do believe that their way is right and they do want everyone to join them. I question, I mean, this is why getting excited for where it goes is, what if season 2, what if they do figure out and I mean how to bring them in? Would they forcefully do that? I mean, would they say, Carol, we'd like you to join us? Which
doesn't seem in their nature.
Yeah, it is time for you to join us.
But they do that in the first episode. They forcibly kiss people and shit. So,
yes, that's right.
And obviously the joining itself was forcibly, it killed people.
Yes.
And they knew. Oh, this is another interesting thing I caught when I was rewatching episode 2, when Zosha's talking about how they stepped up their efforts to the joining. That initially it was peaceful. Nobody was getting hurt and the joining. We're doing it one person at a time, essentially.
Then they had to pick up the pace.
They said we picked up the pace because the government found out and we wanted to avoid any more bloodshed.
Yeah.
So blood was starting, and I'm guessing that when the government found out that they were taking people out, trying to thinking of it as a virus, they were trying to
the Hive Mind was aggressively fighting back?
No, I think the government was aggressively fighting against them.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Yeah.
And
it was probably in that, and that's how the president died. They said that all the head leadership.
Again, I think they were all just
gone.
In one helicopter. The entire government was in one helicopter.
But possibly, but I'm guessing one of my theories is that possibly when the heads of state, the president, vice president, everybody in the main cabinet got joined, then the underlings took them all out because they were trying to regain control of the country. So they were probably all executed by humans.
The reason I'm laughing is that's reminding me of, because, the question would be, is that the same in every nation on Earth, or is like the premier of Russia now like just part of the Hive Mind? Because it seems a little like that seems very take out the leaders. I don't think that's probably the case, but I love the bit where she comes back to her house and they're rebuilding it. And because I was like,
Yeah.
well, she can live anywhere, but they're instantly fixing her house. And then she's like, do I know you? And the guy, and she goes, you're the mayor. She's like, I voted for, and he's like, thank you for your vote.
Thank you for your vote. That was the actual mayor of Albuquerque, by the way. That was a
Are you
cameo.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I had no idea. It's so good.
And it's funny
Thank you
that
for your
he,
vote.
like all of them, he seemed to forget for a second. Oh yeah, you're right. I was the mayor. Thank you for your vote.
I just love, again, it's Carol's reaction because they're all of one mind. So she's the one, but it's like a disgust almost, like, you're the mayor.
Yeah.
It's like you're putting sod down on my lawn.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
This is a world that I mean, I don't want to live in this world, but I love watching it because that's the whole point of the series, is the idea, like us, like trying to figure out what would it be like. This is a different alien invasion story. So what, I've watched every other one. And you go War of the Worlds, Independence Day, I would probably die. There'd probably be a death ray and I'd be gone. I'm probably not going to be hiding in the sewers and eating rats and stuff to survive. It's probably not me. In this one, I can sit there going like, would I be Carol? Or would I be like, I have a feeling I would be in Vegas. I'm just,
Yeah.
sort of like, holy shit. I would just be, I can go into any store and get anything I want.
Yeah. And they'll take you anywhere you want to go.
I can get a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I can get like the Criterion Collection, the whole thing, and just, holy shit. I'd be pretty enthused, except for, I would miss the fact that my friends no longer had their personalities. They would all be you. If we were chatting, you would be very pleasant, but I'd be like, you're just not Chad. And you'd be like, we love you, Brendan. Why won't you join us? I'd be like, I want to read all the comics in the world. I got that to do. I got all that stuff.
Yeah, well, join us and you will have read all the comics in the world.
Oh, that's true. Oh my God. Not only that, you'll have made them.
But that was an interesting thing that we do see when she interviews the guy in the biker outfit, who's one of the people who's fixing her house. That
I like the way she goes, all right, you, Shorty, come with me.
Yeah.
Of course, he's a very tall guy.
Forgot about that.
Like, Shorty, come with me.
But when she's grilling him with questions, she finds out that basically all of culture is just like this placid thing. She's like, in their mind, there is no difference between her books and Shakespeare, basically. And it's all good to them because it means something to somebody somewhere.
Yes. Which is, I mean, kind of a great thought. I mean, that is her getting closer to what, most people or I would be doing as well. It's like, you're saying that my junky fantasy novels, are as good as Shakespeare? And he goes, yes. Because again, like you said, it's like they meant something to someone
with no hesitation. The only thing he hesitates are they don't like saying things that they know is going to upset her.
They don't want to.
Like the amount of people died, amount of people who died.
Well, the fact that she asked them, like, okay, for this example, I want you to access Helen's memories. What did she think of my unpublished novel? What did she really think? And they're like, and there's a hesitation because again, they're like, well, understand, it's like, this is how she felt. And and it's like, she thought it was fine. And she's like, what? Really? And that's
harmless was the other word.
Yeah. Harmless. It's like, wow. It's like, she knew what it meant to you. So it mattered to her. And she was very proud of you. She was so proud of you. And it's like, dude, that's, man, the kind of questions you get into is like, you're in everybody's mind. Did my ex-girlfriend really say did really think that I was, like, whatever. It's like the best she ever had. I mean, that'd be the kind of thing. It's like, access that memory. And they're like, well,
Because there's hesitations for things that they know are going to, things that might upset her, but also things that they realize, oh wait, this wouldn't be very good for us. Wouldn't it? Would it? Like the thing
there's
with the
a political aspect. I mean, or at least there is,
and the secret, obviously.
Yeah. So you're right. It is basically, it's a two-hander. It's Carol and the world, and that's what we're watching. I assume that we're going to continue, and you've already said that they showed stuff, I don't remember from the trailers, where we'll return to the other 12 free thinkers in the world, and so they'll become more of the plot, I'm sure. So, man. And then episode 6 is where the mystery of her figuring out, like, what she looks in the dumpster and it's all these milk cartons, and then she's like, what, who the hell was it, because it went bad, and she's investigating. It's like, oh, this is from a local dairy, so I can go investigate. And the whole thing is that also that barcode, which ends up being, like dog food, and she's just putting together, like, they're so efficient, and they like all food, any food, because someone would, and they don't eat meat. So basically, I think they are homogenizing some sort of food substance, and that's what we're seeing, is that they all are basically imbibing the same thing. And so she is
Because it's
put on the
efficient.
detective hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes to the processing plant for the dog food, I think. Is that where it leaves? Is that where she pulls back the sheet and goes,
Yeah. She tracks the cartons to the milk facility, and that's where she finds the powder that's reconstituted with water.
yes.
And then you said the barcode.
And she's doing
leads
her little
to
experiments, and she's like going, and the pH balance is
she has no
pH
idea what it implies.
Yeah. But I'm so proud of her being like junior detective. She's like trying to figure this stuff out.
And I thought that was kind of deliberately meta, because Vince obviously knew that people were going to be throwing theories around about the show heavily. Yes. And that's what she's doing. Like, I think maybe could this be what's, keeping them joined, which I don't think it is. I really literally think it's just nutritional drink that they're doing.
Nutritional thing,
which is more efficient than eating, because this way it's easier. They have less waste. They have these cartons. That's all the only form of waste they have is these cartons.
If
they can recycle them.
If they really were, and really 12 people on Earth aren't going to stop unless they can unjoin the joined, is on their own merits, probably within 5-10 years, the world would be a utopia. I mean, essentially, the waste they will have gotten rid of, and everything's been simplified. And since there's no wars and no money, no need for it, it's just like they just get stuff done. They probably clean up the oceans, and they probably live very frugally, and, like, I guess it doesn't have to be tightly contained like cities, but I'm sure they're also dismantling stuff that was harmful and unnecessary and needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be like, okay, yeah, I know it sucks that we lose the individuality, but a perfect world.
I have a feeling too that all the children, the babies, are probably being raised in central locations.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very much the communist ideal.
Yeah.
It's like we all share equally, and we take care of everybody. But even with the communist ideal, there were levels, and this would have no levels because they are all one being.
All one person.
Wow. Crazy, man.
Another thing, I think I've seen other people say this, and I think it's quite likely that we haven't seen it yet, but probably one of their missions, their biological imperative, is that what they call it?
Sure.
Is there, because they reached, this came from a signal that was sent from 600 light years away, or 600 million light years away, whatever it was. And they're probably building another one because in the first episode, one of those astronomers says, imagine how big this thing had to be to send a signal this strong to us from that far away.
Yes.
So they're probably building kind of like Contact. They're building this massive device.
Yes.
To send the virus to another planet.
They would have to send it on to the next civilization, the other world. It's that's crazy. I mean, it's big stuff. And you guys don't like it? That's all I got to know. I love the show. So, again, we're doing these episodes of PSAPs essentially for the 60 or however many of you guys actually came from Pluribus. And
I think it might be less than that.
It might be less than that. But we are enjoying it, and we're sharing it with you. And if you dive in, I think you'll be intrigued. And don't let the people on IMDb scare you off. It's quality. It may not be your bag. Give it an episode. Give it a couple episodes. See if it is, because we're digging the hell out of it. But we'll get back to Superman related things, including, again, I want to show off my Daily
This.
Planet sweatshirt. We're going to get back on the animated series, of course, and we'll be talking about other comic-y stuff. And we do appreciate when you guys chime in with, hey, have you ever thought about talking about this thing? I love this thing. We should definitely talk about this thing, Chad. So
Yeah.
you guys, what would you like to hear us talk about? And it might be something like, the economic struggles of the 1920s and 30s. I mean, we'll give it a shot, but
The people have spoken.
the people have spoken. Weirdly, they want to deep dive into the Great Depression. I mean, we might want to also do an episode on the newly refurbished and filled out Beatles Anthology. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh my gosh. Have you watched that yet?
I'm 2 episodes in, which means I'm basically watching the same stuff I've already seen before, but I haven't watched the Beatles Anthology in a long time,
I haven't watched it yet either.
Really enjoying it. So I haven't gotten to the new stuff, which is tacked on at the end.
Did you listen to any of the new, because the music is on streaming now? I listened to the
one you sent me, but I figured that a lot of it would be stuff that they have in, and I'm on Apple Music, and they are offering the new versions, so you can listen to the new versions of the collection. So they've got new stuff there, but I don't want to jump ahead of the episodes I'm on.
Okay. I love that Baby You're a Rich Man outtake. It's really, there is an outtake, and then there's an actual take of the song with less stuff in it. But I love where George is wrestling with his guitar in the beginning, and he can't keep it in tune. And Paul goes, "Why don't we overdub the guitar later? Let's just get the piano and drums done." And John comes over the mic going, "Yeah, that guitar's a curse, man." It's so great. It's so great.
Just like, when we watched Come Together, and all the various documentary stuff that's come out lately. It's that it's all the little bits. It's just the interplay is endlessly awesome for me. Mm-hmm. They show this all the time, but the whole Wrigley Stadium show thing, when they're doing I'm Down, and they're making each other laugh on stage because they're like, no one can hear anything that we're doing. And is it Wrigley? Is that where that was? No, Shea Stadium. Was it Shea?
Right. Yeah.
But anyway. But the whole thing of like, they're still just kids and they're goofing off. And that one shot of Paul where he laughs and spins when he's like playing and he's looking over at George and John goofing off. And then he's like, ha, ha. And I'm like, the joy. I'm just like, I love those dudes.
There's one moment in that where they're playing I'm Down and John's playing the keyboard, and he gets George's hey, and he's pointing at something he's doing on the keyboard, but the camera doesn't go there, so we don't know what it is. Like, I wish I could see what this was.
They're just gooning, and of course John is dancing around in his very inappropriate way. It's all just great. So anyway, we might do an episode on that because if you can't tell from behind Chad there, we're both big Beatles fans.
We did an episode on the original anthology.
We did years on ago, the anthology?
Yeah, we talked about the original anthology.
We did. Yeah,
we did. It was the first Beatles episode we did.
Because they had just put out that new song.
No, this was before that. I can't remember why we started talking about it. Yeah, it was before Now and Then. This was
it was before Now and Then.
I think this is back when we didn't have a focus on the channel. We were just talking about anything.
Don't.
Yeah, we still don't.
Because our conversation about Pluribus is now us talking about Beatles Anthology. So, guys, we're going to bounce around. It's what we do, but we talk about things we love. We hope you love them too, or at least like listening to us babble like old men. So, next week, what do you want to do, Chad? Soups? Again, I guess so. We're in the winter, and soup is good food. I always do that dumb joke. We'll figure out what we're going to do. Join us, won't you? Okay, that's the way I'm out of here.
Okay.
Basically, it's time for lunch. Bye, Peace Apps.
Bye.
Peace Apps out.
Out.